Hi guys, welcome back to Cheers. We are coming to you from New York City at Unwell Studio, and I am so excited for today's episode because it's with someone that I have followed for so long. No one makes me laugh as much as her. Her name is Ray. She's hilarious, sharp, totally unfiltered like myself. You might know her from her fit checks for your father or Barstool's Mocked Up or In the Slot. Today you'll get to know the little lightning rod that is Ray and a little bit more details about some personal things in her life, and I'm so happy that she opened up with me. We had such an amazing conversation, so please welcome Ray. Hi, welcome to Cheers. I'm your host, Avery Woods.
You have no makeup on?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Shut up.
That's ridiculous.
Okay, did we get that? Awesome.
Are we
You guys,
rolling?
I am so excited for today's episode because we are here with one of my favorite people that I think is so fucking funny, Ray. Hey,
Hi.
bitch.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited right now.
Do you remember when I first found you? Like when I first followed you? Because I remember the exact moment and what was going on.
I don't remember.
So I'm
I
weirdly
have a
obsessed with
different,
you.
I think I have a different experience, but
Oh, great. Well,
no, not a bad one.
I used your sound that was like coffee shops and blocking motherfuckers.
That's right.
Yeah. So I took Stevie to Black Rock, like my favorite coffee place in Arizona, and we like to go to coffee shops and block motherfuckers. And I
Period.
made that sound, but as soon as I saw that, I immediately like, when you're scrolling on TikTok and
Yeah.
there's like the follow button on the profile before you even click on the person's profile, I immediately followed you. I didn't
Oh,
look at
love that.
who you were, what you were posting. I was like, oh, I immediately am obsessed with her.
Love that. No, I had that sent to me actually, that video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I didn't see it, and then I had it sent to me. But also, my experience of finding you was somebody had commented that I was copying your haircut
Oh, God.
or something like that, or it was something crazy. So I'm like, what
Weird.
the fuck? What is the problem?
Do you know what's
Like,
funny is there's a girl on TikTok. I cannot remember her username, but I'll have Scott put it on the screen because I feel
Oh,
like she
that looks
deserves
like you?
more followers. Yes. She is an angel of this earth and she has the cutest short black hair. She wears like my blue light glasses.
Mhm.
And everyone in the comments is so mean, like, stop trying to take Avery Wood's style or personality or trying to like clone her. I'm like, girl,
I know. I
leave her
saw that.
alone.
I know.
She's so sweet and she like has similar tattoos, like just like the style.
Yeah.
So does every other
So
Pinterest
does
girl.
everybody.
And I always like repost her videos and comment. I'm like, girl, you keep doing you. Like, I want to be you. I think she's so gorgeous.
Yeah, I've seen her. She's really cute.
So that is
It's
funny
just
to me.
so annoying, but yeah, I remember that experience, and then I followed you, and I was like, oh, I love her vibe.
I
Similar, like,
similar, funny, honest, just kind of like I
exactly.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Right.
Which I love because that's so rare nowadays.
Exactly.
But you've like, dude, you're like a big deal.
What?
Like,
That's crazy.
No,
I
since
feel like that's crazy.
no.
I don't feel like that.
Since I used that sound, you've like really blown up and are like hugely successful. I'm so
Well, I
happy for you.
appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I think, I guess while I'm in it, I don't feel like that maybe.
Yeah.
And like,
Well, it
just
keeps you humble too.
exactly, which we
Little
talked
slice
about.
of humble pie.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I guess I've definitely, all right, let me not dumb down my things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm really like obviously grateful to be in the position like that I am and my career and stuff like that. That's so cool. I guess it's just like, I don't know. I guess you just don't really realize when you're in it that you've done like so many things, and
Yeah.
it's nice to look back and be like, oh, okay. A year ago, I was fighting for my fucking life
Yeah.
to, like be in that relationship and stuff, and now I'm kind of like, all right, put it into perspective. Like now, cool. All right, I made it. Like
Yeah.
a little bit.
It's also one of those things where to stay humble, you kind of have to realize like this can go away at any moment.
Exactly.
And it does keep me a little bit on edge
Yeah.
in like a negative way, like makes me really anxious.
Right.
But it also makes me so grateful because I'm like, I know
Yeah.
the work it takes like to stay relevant in this field and that it can go away.
That's the thing, staying relevant. It's like, that's something that I definitely struggle with, is like what to say. And sometimes I get this brain funk where I'm like, I don't know what to say anymore. Like, I
Yeah.
don't even know what to post. I don't know what you want from me, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And because it just seems so critical. Everything is so critical and it just turns me off. And like TikTok used to be like such a fun thing, I feel like. And now that it's work and I have to like have a certain, persona, whatever, and like, I don't know. It just seems very, what's the word? I don't know, not fun anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it just the humbling part about it. Also, too, with joining Barstool, I feel like
Which, congratulations.
thank you so much. It was such a like awesome thing for me at first, and I was so excited, and then I didn't realize how much the men. It's really like the men.
Do you know what's so funny is I always say this and I always get like the same answer from everyone around me, and that is male podcasters can get away with saying whatever the fuck they want
Whatever
and
they
get
want.
no hate and
No.
are praised. If we said the same thing that came out of men's mouths, we get crucified, and you want to know why? Because our audience is majority women.
Yeah.
When you have a male dominant audience and you are a male podcaster, you're applauded.
Yeah.
But female haters are the worst, and they always attack women out of their own insecurities. And it's so
ridiculous.
sad to me that they
It's
can't just
so
be
sad.
encouraging.
No. And it's just, yeah, it's very discouraging. Like that's the one part about it. That is very discouraging is the men, because they go for everything. I mean, the looks,
Yeah.
and it's constant, and it's saying I've said the exact same things as the men have said, or like similar, and like you said, get shut down.
Yeah.
It's just not even like a thought in their mind to even give it a chance.
Yep.
So I was like,
Yeah. It's interesting too,
Yeah.
because when I'm referring to like women being the biggest haters of women,
Oh,
and
correct.
men are supportive of men, but men don't like women in our field.
no.
They immediately hate that women are successful, they make money, they can make the same jokes, like we can make fun of ourselves or make fun of men, because
Right.
they immediately are insecure about it.
Right. And we have to remind ourselves that these men, or whoever's behind the screen,
Probably
it's like,
boys.
yeah, or just like losers
Yeah.
in their mother's basement or
100%.
something like that,
Yeah.
shitting on us. Meanwhile, I'm like, why am I worried about this?
Yeah.
Because like, look at me, look at where I am, look at, what I get to do, and which I'm grateful for. But like, you have to put it into perspective, because I could get really wrapped up in it, and I'm like kind of getting out of it now. I'm like, all right, whatever. I just don't look.
Mhm.
That's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I can't look.
I stopped like
I
think
know
I'm,
you
like
said.
month 3 now, almost.
Month 3, you
but
haven't looked?
Yeah, so 3 months of no looking at comments, DMs, mentions, nothing.
Nothing.
Tags, nothing.
Good for you.
No.
Good for you.
I'll see, like I do all my own editing. I don't have an assistant, I don't have an editor, nothing.
Oh.
Scott does the production of my podcast, and everything else I do on my own. So I do all my own uploading, everything.
Okay.
I'm too psycho, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
controlling.
Me.
But I have to like obviously open the app in order to upload. So like sometimes I'll see like a comment drop down, and
Right.
usually just ends up just me blocking them, because I'm
Right.
like, when I block them, it just deletes their
Instantly
comment.
blocked.
Oh yeah, dude. Again, going to coffee shops and blocking motherfuckers.
Blocking
Like that's
motherfuckers,
all I
correct.
do.
Period.
But dude, it's been the most like freeing thing,
Good.
because I talked about this a couple times already, but like the biggest fuck you can give to those people is
Yeah.
removing yourself, because they're saying it because they
100%.
want you to see it.
Of course.
They want you to read those terrible things. They want you to feel like shit.
Yeah.
So the biggest fuck you I can give is just be like, well, I don't see it. Sorry.
I'm not even in my mind.
Or like when people
actually.
make videos about me, I'm like, I just don't even see it anymore.
Yeah,
So like,
good.
don't try to monetize off my
Fuck
name.
that. Yeah,
it's
it's
crazy.
like I can't. I literally can't with that.
What's your
Fuck.
background? Like, tell me about where you're from, like how you grew up, all of that.
Okay, so I grew up on Long Island,
Okay.
and
Yeah, we
born-
love the
born
accent
and
here, by the way.
raised. Oh,
We're
the
obsessed with
accent.
the
I'm
accent.
trying to.
No.
I'm trying to.
Keep her strong.
I
Gives you
know, sometimes-
personality.
I know, but sometimes it gets a lot. I feel like it sounds like uneducated.
But okay. No. That is, if someone says that, that's judgmental.
no, I say it about
It's-
myself.
No, that's crazy. Do you know what I find refreshing though? Is it's actually real and natural.
Oh, yeah.
Because I met so many people in this industry in real life, and I'm like, wait, why are
Ew.
you talking so different?
Really?
Oh,
I'd
for
love to know
sure.
who.
Camera voice.
Yeah, sometimes I definitely amp it up, like, just like for certain videos or something. But I feel like, no, I definitely don't try to talk like a fucking, I don't know, like people think I do fake it, but yeah, no, I don't. When I talk to my mom though, and I get cracking with her, like fighting wise,
To
we're
really come out.
oh dear
I
God.
would pay money to see
Oh
that.
my God. Or even just like talking to her in general. My dad has it too. I have this problem though, where how do you say ask?
Ask.
Right.
Ask.
So I say I'm trying to correct it now.
Okay.
I say X.
Oh,
It's like
got it.
that, which
X.
I have never even like really picked up on that.
Like AXE, like an
Yeah,
axe.
like what is that? I don't know.
It's
My
okay.
parents talk like that, but I'm trying to correct it.
It
No,
makes
because
it
it's not right.
quirky.
No, I don't like that.
It's like tomato, tomato. Who cares?
Is it though?
We understand what you're saying,
Exactly. It's like you understand me, so
Yeah, orange, orange.
right.
Do you say
Orange.
orange?
Orange.
Yeah, you do.
Orange.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's that
No,
accent.
I love that. I love
No,
it.
I love it.
Okay, so you grew up in Jersey. Did you
Didn't grow up in Jersey.
No, nope. Okay.
Not that one.
Nope.
That's crazy.
Nope.
Don't ever disrespect me like that.
So wait, where did you? Oh, Long Island. Fuck.
Long Island. No,
Oh
it's
my
fine.
God.
No, it's fine.
Oh my
It's
God.
giving
You
Jersey, I guess, which is
Do
crazy.
you know what's so funny? Yeah, couldn't
Right.
catch me dead reading a map.
Right.
Can you tell that I know geography?
I don't know geography either. I actually thought Cape Cod was in Europe at one point.
Oh,
As insane as that is. That was a long time ago.
I'm not gonna lie.
know
I
why.
wouldn't have questioned you if you said it wasn't Europe.
Exactly. So that's
How
why we're
did we
here.
get the
That's
positions
why
that we're in? I'm genuinely concerned
That's why
for
we do social
society.
media.
Yeah.
Doesn't really require that much thought.
Oh my
All right.
God.
No. So I grew up in Long Island and born and raised there. My background, I grew up an only child.
Really?
I did, but I had a half brother, which I met when I was 22 from my dad. Yeah, that's a whole other scene. Yeah, I feel,
Whoa.
yeah, this is kind of like a lot. So then
Who told you about the brother?
my father, which,
He said, by the way, I have another kid.
no, I had to ask,
How did you ask?
ask, because, because he was in the Navy and it was my 22nd birthday. And I was thinking about him like in the Navy for some reason. And we were like talking and I was like, oh, do you think when you were around the world that, you have kids somewhere around the world? It's kind of like joking
Mm-hmm.
because I know he was like a whore in the Navy. And he goes, like his face dropped and he was like, well, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean, well? And he was like, well, back in like 85, there was this woman who, claimed that it was mine and like beating around the bush. And I'm like, so what you mean to tell me is that I have a brother that's roaming around, mind you, 15 minutes from where I grew up.
You're kidding.
Yeah, fully.
And he's obviously
So,
older than you.
yeah.
Okay.
So this is where we'll get to the real bomb that I'm gonna drop.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Just prepare yourself.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm laughing. It's not really funny, but this is how we get through. Anyways, so yeah, he lives 15 minutes away from me. He's about 13 years older than me, so 85. Yeah. And so he tells me this. I end up tracking my brother down. I meet him like a couple months after, I guess he told me about my brother, whatever. And my brother has an addiction problem, sort of like how my dad does.
Mhm.
This is, a long line of addicts. I get to know my brother for 3 years, and then he passes away. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh,
He passes
no.
away in February.
Wait, you met him?
Yes.
Okay.
Which we got very close.
Oh, no.
The addiction obviously like kept us a little bit like there was,
Mhm.
he was always kind of, you wouldn't really know, but that always puts a damper on things. So it was, yeah, it's okay, guys, you can laugh.
I only giggle a bit
Please
because I
do.
understand what it's like to have addicts in your family.
Oh,
And it's
long
just
line
like
of
if you don't
addicts.
laugh, you'll cry.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
this is how I get through. And like every time I drop that bomb, everybody's like, oh, the room just goes silent. I'm like, all right, like make it fucking weird for me. Like, like, come on. So yeah, he passed away in February of 2024. And that was a whole whirlwind of things. And that also ties into a lot of with my sobriety that that I do have now. I was never like an addict like that, but it definitely like kind of was like, all right, what's the point of all of this? I'd rather just kind of raw dog life and just keep going and for him, for, the sake of my dad and stuff like that, that's the whole reason of why, a good reason of why I'm sober now. But yeah, so I grew up an only child. Now to backtrack, I grew up an only child and met him. But yeah, my background isn't really, my parents got divorced when I was 5. I kind of just was always raw dog in life, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
in general.
Did your
Yeah.
parents get divorced because of your dad's addiction?
Played a huge factor. They had a, tumultuous relationship prior to that, I would say. They were
Mm-hmm.
great business partners. They opened a flower shop,
Oh,
yeah, for a good 12 years.
amazing.
Or 12 years?
That's a hard business to keep for
Yeah.
12
Oh,
years, so good for them.
definitely. And like back in, the 90s and early 2000s, they were like booming with it. I remember it, a little bit and have great memories there. Um, and yeah, they got divorced, I think in like 2005 or so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my dad started drinking again, and that definitely put a damper on things. My mom gave him a couple months to kind of regroup. That didn't really work. And yeah, so I grew up with him and his addiction. Very big effect on my life, I would
Yeah.
say. Huge part of my life. And anybody who struggles with having a parent, with addiction definitely can resonate, that it does affect you in all areas.
Yeah.
I mean, relationships were a huge deal for me. Uh, just not really knowing how to navigate certain areas and, the chasing your father's love and then
Mm-hmm.
being like, okay, we're going to put it into the relationship now and just be like careless and just craving that love from somebody. Um, but yeah, I grew up in a small town. Like it was very small. I went to a rich school. I didn't really grow up with money like that. My mom was a struggling single mom, doing the best with what she knew at the time. And
Mm-hmm.
her and I had a little bit of a crazy relationship too. But I love her. She's very supportive. She's my number one. And, she's always trying to encourage me to be the best version of myself. But other than that, I feel like I've turned out pretty well for what I have gone through. I mean, I
Absolutely.
feel like I've done it all by myself, which is like a cool thing to look back on. Like I did this, and like this is my baby that I get to say, like, my success and
Yeah.
kind of where I come from. And because I could have turned out a lot worse. I could have definitely turned out
You absolutely could have.
a lot worse
Yeah.
from the things that I've been through,
Yeah,
for sure.
my husband's parents are both addicts, and so
Okay.
that's something that, has been a part of my life since I met David at 18.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So, personally in my parents have never struggled with that, but my grandparents have,
Okay.
and we got to a point, when we had kids that we had to go completely no contact
Mm.
because it was so much up and down and inconsistency and heartbreak for him.
The
And we kind of got
letdown.
to a point where we were like, we can either introduce the kids to them and then it's going to be like ended heartbreak. Something bad's going to happen
Which it
because,
will.
yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
for years they've just proven that they can't get sober, like,
Yeah.
choose their grandkids over their addiction, which don't get me wrong, it's a disease. Like it really is a
Yes, it
disease.
is.
And that's out of their control sometimes. But, or we were like, or they just don't really know life with them.
Yeah.
But it's so hard for my husband. I feel so sad for him because, having a father that's a drug addict and a mother that's an alcoholic, and then he became a cop. He was a sergeant for 12 years,
Right.
So like he chose a completely different path
Completely
and
different. Yeah.
helped his community. But I think when we had kids, that was really hard for him because he was like, he's an only child. So he was like,
Oh,
I'm my mom's only child. And she like really loves him more than anything and was obsessed with him. But, there's just certain things that don't come above addiction sometimes.
addiction. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when we had kids, he had a really hard time because he understood the love of a parent. And he's like, I just don't understand how she can't choose me because I would always choose my kids.
Correct.
And it's just so hard.
That is, it really is. I didn't know the depths of all that, which is, I can resonate completely. And it's like, you know, especially when you have kids, I think that is a huge part of why I think about things in the sense of like sobriety and all this stuff, and like why I need to be a certain way, because once kids do come into play, it's a whole other world, you know, and that's so valid for you not to want them around the kids, because you do know that there is a guarantee that there's going to be a letdown, which is so true.
Yeah.
Being a child of an addict, you know, it's guaranteed every single time that you're going to be let down. And it's good that you protect them from that, because they have to earn that. You know, they have to earn that time with those kids, with those kids, your kids. And, you know, that time is earned. And I totally agree that you should do that. And that's how I'm going to be with my children. Like, I'm going to shield my kids from my father, probably. And it's sad, but at the end of the day, that's how you have to be.
And you also never want your kids to experience what you've experienced.
That's I say that till I'm blue in the face.
Yeah, like I feel like my job as a mom, no matter what anyone says, I will always give my kids a better life than I had.
100%.
Like, that's what it is to be a parent.
100%.
And as hard as that decision was to not have them have a relationship with his parents,
right,
I know it's what's best for them.
For the best.
You know?
It will be.
So going through so much darkness in your life, how are you so funny? Has that been your
I think
coping
that's
mechanism?
well, yeah.
And an
Isn't
only
that what they
child.
say? Yeah, exactly.
Well, not really, but technically
No,
growing
but
up an only
technically
child.
I was. I don't know. I really don't know. I kind of was always like goofy. Like my mom would ask me as a kid, she'd be like, "What's your favorite thing, Ray?" And I'd be like, "To laugh." So like I always loved to laugh. And I don't know. I just found other outlets. You know, I had a good childhood. It's not like I had this like horrible childhood. People have it a lot worse, you know?
Yeah.
But that's funny. I think the more shit you go through, the more darkness, I think it's just the way to cope.
Dude, it's so true. Like we had our ups and downs in my childhood for sure that like my sister and I are still fucked up from. But my sister always jokes because she's 5 years older than me that she's the funniest in the family. And like I got my humor from her.
Right.
Because all we would do was like shoot the shit with each other when we were like so depressed and like fucked up from childhood.
Right. You
But,
have to. You have to laugh.
Yeah.
If you don't laugh off your traumas, like we can't take life so seriously. I can't stand that. Like everybody's like so serious, and I'm just like, what the fuck are we so serious about?
Okay, so you obviously live in New York City. When you first started, were you in New York?
No.
This
I'm
is a
back and
recent
forth.
move.
I go back and forth to Long Island and New York City.
Oh, you have two houses, so you're rich.
No,
That's
no, honey, I am
crazy
not
of
rich,
you.
rich. No, my no, I do not have I don't have the Hamptons money like that. My
Hamptons
mom, I live at my mom's on Long Island, and then she bought the one in New York. So we own the apartment in New York.
Oh, cool. I forget you can own apartments here.
Yeah, I know, which is like unheard of, but I don't know. She knows the whole deal. So she's on some type of list or something and then got the apartment. I don't know, something crazy. But so I live out of suitcases. I don't really have like home base, which
Yeah.
kind of drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Because I am not that type of person. I am a freak. Like I need to be comfortable. I need to have like my decor look nice and my freaking no, it really is driving me crazy, and I'm trying to be cool about it, but it drives me nuts because I can't find my shit. My clothes are I'm like, or I'll leave my shit at New York, and then I'll go back home and I'm like, cool, I have nothing to wear. I look like a fucking clown. And you know, it's just like so annoying. So that's my life right now. I'm living out of suitcases. I would love eventually to kind of have home base where, oh, and the reason why I can't move here full time is because I have the dogs, my inconvenient little Frenchies.
Oh, yeah. How many do you have?
2.
Do they have snout problems?
My little one does. He's such a piece of shit. He really is. No, he's such a piece of shit. And it's such a good representation of like, because me and my ex got him together, of course.
Do you share custody?
We tried. That
can't
didn't
afford
work out.
Can't afford the food.
That's actually hysterical because he was giving me like money for the food in the beginning, and then it kind of just like died out, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
sounds
okay.
like child support
Guess I
situations.
got the kids.
Yeah.
I got the kids in this divorce."
You like start
So,
backlogging until the dog's 18. You're like, you owe me X amount. You
no,
like
can you
serve him when the
serve him
dog's
with the
18th
papers?
birthday, but
No,
you had
seriously.
dog years, so it's only a couple years down the road.
I think we already surpassed it, so I'm
Oh,
just gonna
okay.
keep. I'm gonna
Got
Venmo
me.
request him
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Genius.
and be like, "Hey, $50 this month." No, honestly, don't want anything. No contact. I don't want anything from that person. Um, But yeah, I got the kids, and he's just such a pain in my ass. He's like a biter. He's such a
Mm.
brat. If he doesn't get his way, like if I like try to move him, if he's determined to do something, he's gonna like be like, "No, bitch, I'm doing it. Like I'm
Mm.
going to do whatever you're telling me not to." So if I move him, like he'll bite. So he'll try to bite. Perfect representation of my last relationship. And Rushi, on the other hand, is an angel. Probably should have stuck with one dog, but clearly, we just got the dog to put a band-aid on the relationship, the usual shit that you do.
Yeah, sounds like when an unhappy marriage has kids to try to,
That's right.
fix the
Yeah.
problem.
That's what we do, right?
I We wanted a Frenchie really bad, but my son was so obsessed with cats. We went with cats.
Oh, I love your cats.
Yeah,
They're
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 the
the only
best.
cats that I probably would get because I don't
Yeah,
like cats.
they're such good boys. Like they're
Love
really
that.
easy pets.
hmm
But I loved Frenchies, but we were always scared about the like nasal
So,
problems.
which is so valid. I mean, they do come with a lot of health issues.
They're so fucking cute
They're
though.
adorable. I want to die when I look at my dogs. Oh my God. They're my life. But if you get them from a reputable, am I saying that right?
Reputable.
Reputable?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Did I
Yeah.
say that right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Genius.
But if you get like from a good breeder, usually it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, then you might be fucked.
Yeah.
Then you might be stuck with like a backyard bred, inbred dog.
So you don't want to live here because your dog would be stuck in an apartment. You'd have to like walk down a
They're
bunch of stairs
Yeah,
and
Rushi's fine. My older one. He's like he knows the city enough. Mafi, I have to walk him in a stroller. So this dog doesn't walk. He's a brat.
I call it a dog wheelchair. Like
Yeah,
they're not
it's
doing
so
anything. Like for what
No,
reason?
it's just like what are you so tired about? You know?
Like
Like
how is your life
really.
so fucking hard that
You
you can't
know?
put on a leash and
I
go for a
wipe their
walk?
ass for them. I'm not
No, you
joking.
don't.
Yes. Like I wipe your ass and your paws when you come from outside and you can't even walk. Like it's just a lot.
You realize that makes you the mother of like two babies, right?
Yeah. When I have real kids, it's a wrap.
Yeah, walking your dogs in strollers,
In a
wiping their
stroller,
ass. You have
fully.
newborns.
Yes, constantly. And it never gets old.
Oh,
That's the thing.
okay, mommy.
Yeah. I'm on my my mommy shit.
So you and your ex broke up end of last year.
Uh,
How's that been on your own?
Great. Wonderful. Like a
Yeah,
fucking weight has lifted off.
thank God. How
Like
long were you with that person?
uh we were together for almost 3.5
Oh, so
years.
a
But we
long
broke
time.
up once before that.
Okay.
Um, and then we got back together 2023 of September. So we broke up May of 2023, got back together of September 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And I was engaged.
You were?
Yeah. Ooh,
Did you ever talk about that?
bomb dropped. I never addressed it on social media.
Wait, I did not know you were engaged.
Exactly. Thank God. That's the point. That was the whole
Wow.
point.
How long were you engaged for?
July of 2022 to,
Whoa, that's a long engagement.
yeah, July of 2022.
To November of 2024.
No, I
Oh.
gave the ring back
Oh,
when we broke up in May 2023.
oh, and then you were just dating.
So it was almost a year. And then
Okay.
we got back together. We didn't get re-engaged.
Okay.
Right.
You just knew he wasn't the one for you.
Yeah, I knew from the beginning, probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Do you
just
think it was relationship trauma you felt you were filling a void, or did you
I
feel
think
stuck?
I think I was so young and
Mm-hmm.
naive, and I was, it was like I didn't really, again, careless, like I was careless just going into it, and I didn't really think about the long term. Like I kind of never knew how to say no,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would end up getting so deep involved That's what happened, exactly what happened. And I ended up getting engaged and almost married. So,
Wow.
but like I knew in the back of my head, I'm like, this is not a sustainable relationship because of certain factors. And I don't know, like I just dragged it on for so long and I was in denial, but also like I knew better. It was just very strange. I don't know why it was so hard for me to, well, I do know why, because he had a way about him where it was, he could be extremely wonderful and nice and this and that. And, I mean, he had his own issues. I'm not looking to like shit on him.
Yeah.
I've surpassed that, but then it would turn into a completely different scenario where we would be just like butting heads so bad. I don't know if that's the right word, but just so toxic that it was just insanity. It was insanity. The whole relationship was insanity. It was up and down. It was a roller coaster of emotions. It was two unhealthy people just not knowing how to get it right. And, there was, I hope nothing but the best for him. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, I don't care. It doesn't cross my mind. Thank God I'm not in that relationship because I probably would have died. I probably would have, not killed myself. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying like it would have gone to a point where, I mean, there was thoughts. Like it got so bad where I was like, what am I going to do? Like this can't be my life,
Yeah.
So I knew, I just didn't know how to leave.
Yeah.
That was it, really.
Good
And
for
then,
you though.
yeah, I mean, definitely good for me. It was not going to end well. I think that's what it was too.
Have
It's
you
not gonna end well.
been dating?
I tell you, like chatted with people, whatever. Dating, dating. Maybe like hanging out with a friend, like
A little special friend.
little special friend
Yeah.
or something like that.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I wish I could like get into the depths.
That is
of the
Scott's
story.
dream, man. That jawline's nuts. I'm gonna be so for real with you right now.
I have to put my sunglasses.
I want to say something honest to you, and I hope you don't take it offensively.
I don't take it offensive. I don't take anything offensive.
I think you're so fucking funny and you're so hot.
Thank you.
But like the way you exude yourself on the internet is just like a funny girl. Like you're always like for me, like 90% of the time on the internet, I look like shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like
What? That is not
No,
okay.
no.
I think the complete opposite. I think you look put together all the time.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I have a Korean corn dog vlog coming later where you can see me on the
Wait,
streets in New York.
that's a crazy
Insanity.
statement.
Yeah.
That's a crazy statement. I have a Korean corn dog vlog coming out. Insanity.
Full of cheese.
Clip that.
That's what I meant. So, anyways, I feel like the majority of the time people meet me, I'm not trying to brag, but they will say like you look way better in person, like prettier in person. I'm like, because I do look
you're
ugly
gorgeous.
most of the time on the internet.
No.
But like you are massively hot in person, like crazy hot energy.
Say that one more time.
But I just want to tell you, like, you pulled so hard with him.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah, but he also pulled massively hard with you.
Period.
Yeah.
No, like we compliment each other really.
Yeah, I love that. I can tell by your energy that you're really into him. You just don't want to admit it because you're shy.
You know what it is? Yeah, like a little bit.
But I will say, protect your peace.
Yeah, I'm protecting
Protect your
my peace.
relationship.
Yeah.
No one needs to know who he is.
Relationship.
Because then he's going to start doing OOTDs on his TikTok and get clout. And it's the worst when they do that.
You think?
Well, if he does, red flag. Does he have social media?
Yeah.
How many followers does he have? Don't say specifically, but like, is he
No.
like trying to get big on social media?
No.
Okay, great.
No.
That's all we care about.
He's not like that. No.
Okay, great.
I'm scared.
Oh God, now I'm like making her question everything.
I'm
Anyways,
scared.
no,
Okay.
I can tell by your energy and how shy and giddy you're being that you're so into him, and I love that for
No,
you.
I am. Definitely I am into that person.
I'm so happy for you. Okay, we'll
Thanks.
move on because you're getting shy.
Okay, move on.
All right. So when were you like, oh damn, this is my job now? Because I know what you did before. I
yeah.
know you didn't talk about it publicly, but like we've talked about it because you
Yeah.
were in a very difficult, underpaid type career
Correct.
and it's so underappreciated.
Correct.
So when were you like, oh fuck this joint, I can do social media now?
A few reasons. So when I was a teaching assistant.
Oh, okay. So you do talk
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, we can
Okay,
talk about
great.
it now.
Yeah, she was a teacher's assistant. Do you know how fucking hard that is?
which is crazy to some people to find out that I was a teaching
Oh,
assistant.
it's when
Teaching kids?
you told me that in like an Instagram message once, like a year ago maybe,
You're like,
and I was
what?
like, you're the last fucking person I can imagine in a classroom.
Now, what do you mean by that?
I mean, like, I mean, like, Ken Urich was on and she was like, no, I'm like banned from schools probably because the way I speak. Like,
Really?
you're just funny. Like, you're
Well,
funny
that
and you
was an
cuss
issue.
and like, oh,
Oh, yeah. Wait till I tell you.
okay. Oh God, tell me. Give it to me, girl.
So yeah, I was a teaching assistant. I loved that job, which was very unheard of for me. I like hated working like kind
Can
of
I
like
can
regular
I
job.
also ask
Yeah.
what age were the kids?
High school.
Oh, Jesus.
Which I loved. Which I loved.
Yeah, oh, they
I don't
probably thought you were
really
the
do.
shit.
Oh yeah. Well, they kind of were like a little standoffish at first. I had to earn their trust.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was juniors and seniors, and they were really awesome, really good kids. And it got to a point where I had my social media at this point,
Hmm.
and I was saying crazy shit as I do. And they were finding my TikTok one day. I went into work, and one of my students was like, Miss R, is this you? Turns the phone. And I was like, mortified,
Yeah.
mortified. I'm like, oh, that's me. And I was like, no. I was like, I don't know who that is. I lied. And then I looked at my head teacher and I was like, oh my fucking God. So it kind of like gradually started. And I started in September. They found it in October.
Oh,
So,
yeah, those high school kids are quick.
oh, very quick. I mean, everybody's on social media now. So, and I knew it was bound to happen. I was like, but like a month in, shit. So, whatever, months go on. And then a couple of the girls, they were like very like rude about it, but like standoffish, like trying to like get, earn my trust and earn each other's trust, whatever. And there was a video that went upstairs to my leader of the program that I was in, whatever, because I was in the culinary like program, which was like so cool, whatever. Anyway, so the one video that did circulate that another teacher upstairs sent to her,
Snark.
I was like, come on, like, what the fuck? Like, you
It's
guys
it's
can't.
always jealousy.
Yeah,
It's always jealousy.
But like, no, it was a man, and he's
Oh.
like, "Is this the culinary assistant
Are you
downstairs?"
fucking kidding
I'm like,
me?
dude, seriously?
Grow
Like,
some
you
balls.
blow up my spot like that? So my leader of the program comes down, and then my vice principal found out too. It's a video of me talking about how cayenne pepper can save you from a heart attack, and then I said, "And so can your mother's stinky pussy." This is what I said. And this is the video that went around upstairs with the children that I teach. So my leader calls down and she's like, "Hey, tell Rachel not to leave yet," because the bell just rang and I'm like about to leave. Oh yeah, it's hysterical.
Fucking cry.
She thought it was hysterical. That's the best part about it, is that everybody thought it was so funny. But she was also like, but we also have to realize if a parent does see this.
Running down my cheek right
Really?
now.
No, it was crazy. Good, laugh it
Mother
out.
stinky pussy
You're
is
right.
insane.
Like, who correlates the two? And why was that the video that I had so many other videos that we could have chose?
Like, working in healthcare, like, I'm aware of what a stinky pussy smells
Right.
like, but I would not compare that to cayenne
Pepper.
To
Hello?
be honest.
I mean, hello?
Oh my fucking God.
Guys, it was just
I've
a lot.
never laughed so hard in my podcast in my entire life.
It was a lot.
Oh my God. So how was that conversation?
So she comes downstairs and I'm like shitting myself. I'm like, okay, this is just like either gonna go really bad, I'm gonna get fired, or this can be like really good. She's gonna be like, oh, it's so funny. It ended up.
Oh, it's so funny. I love stinky pussy talk.
My head teacher, like, he's never seen my videos before.
Oh,
so
he's a guy.
He was there, and then my leader is a woman. So she
Okay.
comes downstairs. She's like, I think you know what I'm about to say.
Oh no.
And I'm like, right. So I'm like, yeah, I probably do. I was like, but you tell me what you're going to say. She's like, well, there was a video that went up, circulating upstairs. I'm like, okay. She tells me which one. She goes, it was about cayenne pepper. And I'm like,
It couldn't have been a
I'm
fit check
like,
for your phone.
dude, I'm like, out of all the videos. So she's like, me during school hour, me after school hours, she's like, I'm laughing. She's like, it's so funny. She goes, but if a parent does see this, it might not look too good and blah, blah, blah. So she makes me play it in front of my head teacher. He was like, He did not even know that I was that type of person.
Oh no.
So he fucking dies laughing. And he was like, "What the hell?" And then
And he was probably like, valid. I've
yeah,
smelled it
no,
before.
yeah. It was just like, it was funny.
Oh
So I
my
was like, should I
God.
delete it? She's like, maybe just like delete that one. She's like, I'm not telling you what to do. I was like, because I make money like on here. She's like, yeah. She's like, it's another form of income, whatever. So I ended up staying at the job at the school till May. So like I wrote it out and all the kids knew. I mean, there was kids from upstairs coming downstairs like, "Oh, is that the teacher? Like the, who's on social media?" And one of the freaking guidance counselors, I'm upstairs cuz I would do the food stands with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be upstairs. So the woman who was a guidance counselor comes out. She's probably like a little older than me. She's like, "I'm sorry to bother you." I was like, "I'm like really thrown off to see you here. Like, do you work here?" She knew who I was from social media.
Oh, cool.
And I'm like, and that would happen often.
Yeah.
And I would lie to the kids, "Oh, are you on TikTok?" I'm like, "No." I was like,
No socials.
No, not
Yep.
me. I was like, I can't have that here.
Yeah.
Full of
I've
me.
totally done that before.
No, I lie. Just
I'm not
lie
gonna
and
lie.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm a liar. But anyway, so
Oh
that
my
was
God.
one of the reasons why, because I knew it wasn't sustainable. And I started to make like a little bit more money, with brand deals and like I wasn't totally like locked in with certain things, but I kind of took a risk and was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm going to quit this job. Also, then my brother died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And that was, well, that's okay. But I was working with his mother at the time too. Just a lot of theatrics going on. And she was just like kind of unbearable to work with. She wasn't very nice. So I was like, you know what? I'm fucking done. Like, I have to leave. I have
Yeah.
to leave this job. And I did, took the risk, went to Italy, came back, got the job at Barstool. Now we're here.
Did you apply for Barstool?
No,
They approached you?
Dave did.
Period.
Messaged me. He's like, "You are funny."
That's all it said?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I went on It Girl and then I went on In the Slot podcast as like a guest, like randomly. And then the next day I got a message from Dave because he had asked Mubi. I don't know if you know who that is. She's my co-host on In the Slot, Maddie. And he was like, "How'd you think of Ray?" And then he messaged me the next day, "You are funny." We talked about numbers and my salary and messages, and that was it. And then I signed a contract.
Period.
So
Good for you.
Thank you.
I'm happy for you.
thank you.
So what do you have in the works?
Well, I do have my show mocked up,
Yep.
and that's a pretty much like a sober advice show, but also just like talking shit and having fun. We make mocktails, and
Wait, cute.
yeah, I'm gonna
And-
have my first guest on.
You are?
My best friend is coming to, yeah,
Bestie.
my best friend Kitsy. Shout out Kitsy.
Cute.
Yep. So that's, in the works. We just did episode 6, wrap that up, and it's just an evolving show. And whatever. We'll see what happens.
We didn't really touch on your sobriety because obviously, like, you have struggled with addicts in your family, but
Yeah.
is that a choice you made from the beginning, or is that something that you recently changed?
So, what do you mean? Like in the beginning of what?
Like before, like, did you ever drink alcohol?
Oh yeah.
You
Oh yeah.
did? Okay.
I fully. Oh yes. What I like to say to kind of sum it up is that I always was trying to stop. Like it was always in the back of my head, like this isn't really your vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wanted to be like everybody else and kind of like have fun. Like I couldn't wait to get older and drink. And like I watched Jersey Shore and I was like, I can't wait to fucking be like that,
I
Like,
thought you were repulsed when I asked you if you were from Jersey.
well, I was. So like I definitely was.
Okay, got it.
But the
But-
Jersey Shore crew was like my shit.
Yeah, oh yes,
That
Nikki,
was
everything.
Yeah, everything and more. So I grew up wanting to be like that, and I definitely have had my times. But my mother has been sober for 23 years.
Oh wow.
So I saw the best of both worlds. My father being an addict and that life that he lives, and then my mother being sober and kind of just like going through, I mean, doesn't make life any any easier being
Yeah.
sober, but like life sucks, but life sucks better when you're sober.
Totally.
That's how I feel. But to each their own. I don't judge people who do, drink, whatever. I don't care.
Do you smoke weed?
I don't. You'll have to bring me to the hospital.
You're sober, Sally.
I'm sober, Sally. I take my Xanax that I'm prescribed every now and then.
Well, that's a prescription
Right.
medication.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't abuse them. No. I definitely need them. Like when I fly, I take my Xanax. Sometimes I try not to, but
Yeah.
I do have panic attacks
There's
sometimes.
there's nothing wrong with that when you need
No, I don't
help.
give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'll take my Xanax when I please.
You're right.
Thank
Exactly.
you. The fuck?
Yeah.
No.
Xanax when I please.
But yeah, that's like literally the only thing. I don't do anything else. I have thought about microdosing shrooms though.
Yeah, that scares the shit out of me.
Me too.
I did recently at
Oh,
Disneyland.
okay.
Um,
Where is this going?
I just want to talk about this 'cause I've never spoken about it, but I think you're a
Please
fun
do.
person to talk to about this.
Ooh,
So
yeah, I'm excited.
we went to Disneyland for my 30th. There was no kids. I just want to do adults for 2 days so we can ride the fun rides because I love my kids so much. But like,
No, you
I
need
don't want to
time.
fucking ride Peter Pan anymore. I'm
Wait,
over
happy
it.
belated, by the
Thank
way.
you. Thank
Period.
you so much. Did you bring me something?
You know,
Kidding. So anyways, we were with
right.
a group of really responsible people, and one of my friends, really hot, lot of money,
Okay.
lot of connections,
Mm.
and she also is like super responsible, doesn't even take weed gummies, and she's like, so and so, one of her friends who's like a very trusted person,
Okay.
got these gummies and she wants you to try them. And they were 5 milligrams THC, but then they were like microdose shrooms.
Oh.
And it was like a mix between them. And
Oh.
she was like, she said you could take a whole one and probably be fine. And I was like, I'm just gonna take a half.
See, that's not promising words.
Yeah,
You could
probably.
probably take a half and you
Yeah.
might be fine.
Scott took like 3 and he was soaring.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? What dimension
Oh,
did you enter?
you want to hear a funny story about Scott? This is how much it takes to get him to get high. Okay, I don't know if you've ever been like experienced with marijuana, but like
Yes, I have. I used to
there's
smoke.
gummies that are like yay big, like the big fatties that are like sliced, and
Okay.
each little slice is 10 milligrams, right?
Mm.
He one time called me because he thought that was just one gummy and he did eat the entire thing, which was 100 milligrams.
Of THC.
Correct. And he was high for
Literally
2 days.
psychiatric hospital.
No, I was on the phone with him and he's like, I took the whole thing. He said, do you need a chaperone? Like, I'm scared
Do
he was
you
gonna
need
operate
help?
a vehicle, especially because if one thing about him is he will get the munchies and he wants food. And I'm like,
Right.
do not operate a vehicle. I'll DoorDash you something. Like, order it because he's too cheap to pay the DoorDash fee.
Period.
So eats 100
Valid.
milligrams. So now marijuana's fucked for him because nothing makes him high unless he gets a whole handful of gummies and he like throws them all back.
Wait, that like sent you with like crazy tolerance?
Oh yeah. Now
Oh
he's
my
like, yeah.
God.
So he took 3 of those little shroom gummies. I took half of one. And the only thing I will say is like, I liked that it made me like happy and giggly.
This is what I hear
And I
every
had
time.
no munchies.
Okay.
So apparently it's what you
Skinny?
want to do if you want to stay skinny because when
Skinny.
I get high on marijuana, I could eat a country.
Really?
It's
I
crazy.
could eat a country?
It's no, like
Okay.
my second, third, fourth, fifth, 69th stomach kicks in and it's like you still have room for more. And then the next morning I'm like on the toilet,
Yeah. Shitting your brains out?
please help me. Like, do you
Damn.
know how hard it's been? Scott and I are sharing a hotel room right now. It's literally the size of this table.
Okay.
The bathroom is connected to the bed.
Wait, I actually know what you're talking
And
about.
I'm
'Cause
like,
they're so small.
And I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to have a full glam team and photo shoot in my hotel room today. I said, I'm thinking you guys are not understanding how small my room is. Because, like,
What
they
hotel is
probably
it?
think I, like, rented a penthouse. I said, oh, no, honey, I found the cheapest hotel I could find. So, anyways, on the toilet in the mornings, I'm like, Scott, I need you to, like, go somewhere
What are you
else.
eating?
Well, last night was Korean corn dogs.
Oh my God, we're back to the Korean corn dogs.
Full of mozzarella. I'm lactose
God.
intolerant, didn't bring
Oh.
lactate. And then milk bar.
First of all, crazy of you to eat like that when you have a guest. Crazy of you to eat like that when you have a
He's not a
guest.
guest. He works for me. It's fine. He's like filing with HR.
He's my help.
He like
Fine.
calls
He has to deal with my shit.
You know
Literally.
what though? I deal with his. I deal with
Period.
his.
Okay.
Yeah, because he has a stinky booty too.
Wow. We're really
And
calling it out.
anyways,
Scott, do you have anything to
and
say?
then Milk Bar was attached to the Korean corn dog place. Like I'm not gonna get cereal milk ice cream with rainbow sprinkles.
It's just kind of inconsiderate.
No. So, anyways,
I'm so
back
sorry
to the
for you.
Don't feel bad for him. He lives a great life.
He's like, he's a fucking dog. He gets food and
Scott's in the
water
corner,
twice
he's like,
a day.
Scott's like, we're like, help me. Oh my God. Anyways, so
Holy shit.
anyways, the like little bit of shrooms I took, I will say
Okay.
only lasted like 30 minutes. That was kind of a bummer, but I was too scared to take more, especially in like a public place when people are stopping you.
Right.
Like nothing would make me more paranoid than me like wigging out
Oh,
and someone's like,
hell
can I get a photo with you? And I'm like,
Cross-eyed.
like something's like genuinely concerning.
Right.
But everything looked
Hell.
like so bright color-wise, like
Yeah.
they say.
This is what I hear. Everything, like from every person that I ask, they say that I'm giggly.
Yeah.
That's all I hear. So man, I'm trying to be fucking giggly too.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll dabble.
Just do it with someone you trust.
Right.
For the first time.
Yeah.
And like don't buy it off the streets, you know.
I kind of want to do it. Did you do it at night?
It was like evening time when it was the sunset, and so it was
Okay,
really,
that's a
really
vibe.
pretty.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be in a good setting and like headspace.
Yeah, also crazy of me to try it for the first time at Disneyland.
Wait, yeah.
I should have been like in my home, like while my
Overstimulated.
kids are asleep, like with nothing distracting me.
Right. Wow, that
So
was bold.
I suggest that for you.
Okay.
All right,
Taking
so
it at Disneyland?
no, at home.
At home.
Yeah, in your bedroom. Maybe
You
with
went to
your mom present.
Disneyland or Disney World?
Disneyland. Disneyland is only a couple hours from my house, so
Oh.
we just drive there.
Wait, what do you mean, couple? You don't you live in Arizona?
No, not anymore. I moved.
All right, so where did you move? Like, I'm so confused.
I moved back to California where my family is.
Okay.
We couldn't afford it before. We were a cop and a nurse.
Period.
And then when we left our jobs, we were kind of like, why the fuck are we here still?
Okay.
And then when I signed to Unwell, I'm obviously traveling so much for the podcast, and like 98% of people live in LA.
Right.
So
It makes sense.
I needed, I
in
can't be
LA.
in the city of LA.
Yeah.
We're like more family suburb area,
Okay.
but we're close enough.
I didn't
to
know like
record.
if you actually bought a house. Like I knew that
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
looking to move, but I didn't know if you
We
actually...
did a short-term rental through the summer while we house shop, but
Oh,
we're like,
there. That's why I'm... Okay.
yeah, in the process of hopefully closing soon.
Cool.
So
Okay, well now I have an excuse to go there, but I am scared of LA.
yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah.
The culture is very different, especially compared to
That's
New York.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, so
intimidating. Go ahead.
wrapping up, I want to know
Yes.
what's your goal in the next 3 to 5 years? Like, what do you envision for your brand, your platform?
I would say, as of now, from what I'm thinking, just to keep growing with Mocked Up, obviously, and like sort of have that evolve into something. I would hope to eventually come out with like some mocktail drink of some sort.
Cool.
That would definitely be cool. Just keep grinding. I would love to get into like invest my money into other things and like buy properties and stuff so
Oh,
I don't
agreed.
have to. Like my goal is eventually to just like get the fuck off social media.
Yeah. If you ever need help with investments and stuff, just text me. I'll
Absolutely.
hook you up because
Great.
we've helped a couple of our friends before because
Yeah.
it really is almost like a word of mouth thing.
Yeah.
It's like a secret club.
Yeah,
But,
and I want
uh,
to be in that.
That's where it's at, and that's
Yeah.
when people are like, "Oh my God, it's such a quick burnout job. You'll be screwed." I'm like, You don't see what we're doing behind the scenes with the money,
That's
though.
what I'm saying. If
yeah.
the money is coming in, burn me out. Like I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck, you
Yeah.
know? But I mean, I just want to be able to get to a point where I don't have to do social media necessarily like
as
and
your full-time gig.
yeah,
for
that's
sure.
the thing. I want to transform into something else, use the money and then see you later.
Yeah.
That's my goal. Raise my family. I want kids, I want a family, and I want to be able to give them a life that they deserve and that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to do that. So,
God, I cannot wait to watch you procreate with your friend. 'Cause you guys are gonna make some cute babies. And let me know if a wedding happens because I give really great gifts.
great. I will keep that in mind.
Amazing. Thank
All
you
right,
so much.
I'll note that.
Keep me updated via text about that situation. Love to hear
Oh,
more.
I will.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on TikTok or on YouTube or on Instagram.
What's your handle?
My handles are, oh, my Instagram is kind of weird. It's R_A_, like, is that what you're saying? Yeah. It's like,
We'll
why
put
does
it
this feel so
somewhere.
uncomfortable to do?
We'll put it somewhere. You're like R_A
Yeah.
_E
So-
696969.
Right.
I don't know why I keep saying 69 like I'm in fifth
Yeah,
grade.
what the fuck?
It's
It's
not
like,
even a funny joke
grow
anymore.
up, dude.
I know. You're gonna see
up.
it in my Korean corn dog vlog. My order number
If I
was
say that fucking word one more time,
my, or-
Korean corn dog, that's gonna haunt me in my
my
dreams.
order number was 69 last night. I'm sorry. I just-
Seriously? How old are you?
I'm
Turned 30
30
years old. 69.
No, the maturity is definitely going downhill as I
Who gives
age.
a fuck?
It's definitely going downhill.
Just gets worse and worse.
Oh, okay. Anyways, everyone go follow Ray on everything because she's so fucking funny, and I don't know how you are not literally as successful as Chelsea Handler. You're so funny.
Oh, thank you. That's a compliment.
Well, it's true.
Thank you. I
All
really
right.
appreciate
And
that.
we'll go get Korean corn dogs later.
Oh, dear
All right,
God.
bye guys.
Bye, guys.